Hey! The last digit of your like on this video by each who you are from Melon Playground, and the last digit of your subscription to my channel will show your Melon Playground item. So go down right now, subscribe and give me a like. Look at the screen. Notice the last digit of your like and your subscription and write in the comments who you are from Melon Playground. It's simple, if your like is number 8 and the last digit of your subscription is number 5, you're a lemon and a cactus. Show your imagination and enjoy the show. And hello dear friends, you're on the Melonfonk channel. In this video we're going to talk about the 18.5 update in Melon Playground. Well, before I start the video, I want to say a huge thank you as always to these guys for being in my video, and if you want to be in my next video, it's pretty simple. You need to subscribe to the channel, put a like, write your top comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the cart, the link as always in the description. In general, I will not waste your time and enjoy your viewing. An hour ago came out a new update 18.5 and frankly for me it was just the maximum surprise, and that the new added to the chalk prigrelit for me also became the maximum of course a surprise, because such I did not expect to see. And let's immediately as traditionally we turn to the Discord server developers and see what they wrote there in the update 18.5 added to the presented vacuum cleaner, which frankly is not so cool works, but about this and we will further see what we have presented was. And this is a new item. The contraption spavener. Honestly, for me it was the maximum surprise, and the way it works for me also the maximum cool thing. But let's also in order and let's see what we have the latest in added items. Shaking when interacting with heavy objects has been added. That is such an effect that immerses you better in the game. And honestly speaking, it only positively affects the emotions and impressions from the game. That is, for example, when you take any heavy object or explode something where you have a kind of shaking, that is, like an effect that really more immerses you in the game and only really positively affects your emotions. So if you have it somehow interferes with you or eats your FPS, which actually also somehow affects your impressions of the game, then in fact everything is simple, you need to go to the settings and just disable this effect. The developers took care of it and still added the ability to disable this feature. So what do we have in terms of fixes? And there we have everything as usual. As usual we have fixed some bugs and made more stable work in the game. But also, by the way, it's very interesting that they changed the logic of adding all sorts of achievements. That is now achievements that were difficult to get, or in principle it was hard to get some achievements. This has now been fixed and all achievements can be obtained. We'll definitely talk about that in my future videos as well. And the first thing I noticed was that they fixed the fireworks. Now it does not fly up to the end of the map, and still, developers hear me and watch my videos always. In addition to my videos correct what they have wrong, and now salute really much better began to work. It takes off at a normal height and explodes also at a normal height. All this has become much more beautiful to work, and frankly for me it is always only positive moments. I am glad that the developers are still somehow listen to the players and change what they have really not. Once I realized that it is a complete hat. Honestly the most useless, uninteresting item. The maximum that he can do is to suck objects to himself, and with the maximum strange physics. Honestly, the physics of this vacuum cleaner didn't work for me at all. Really very strange, as if it does not fit even the physics of the game, not that the physics of real life. So for the vacuum cleaner objectively minus. The only thing that he can fully suck up is already broken objects. A huge thing like that could be sucked into the vacuum cleaner, that would be cool. You know, like in cartoons, it's like a huge object like a car, but it still sucks up and fits into the vacuum cleaner somehow. I'd like it to work like that. Well basically, it can only suck up the garbage left behind by any debris. So, let's say, if we break a drawer, only then the vacuum cleaner will work somehow. In other cases, the vacuum cleaner is essentially a useless object. Its sound is not that interesting, it's basically annoying. The only thing I like about the vacuum cleaner is its texture, it's really beautiful. That is in principle for any scenarios that will really be very rarely used by players, it may be suitable. And so, it is an item that will not be used by players at all, like a turret of some kind, although the turret is still very useful item. Really, you sit down and just think about why you will use at least once in your life in this game vacuum cleaner. You do not want to open it at home before cleaning, and then you will do it in the game. Agree, it is at least strange. The item is clearly not very useful and in principle not the most interesting. Conditional fireworks, which once lost in the vote, is now used much more, and personally I get high from fireworks very much. Steam cyclic fireworks get me really high, and because of that I still want to thank the developers for adding a really cool item to this game. Well, let's move on to the game that really had me surprised, and that is Contraption Spawner. I don't know what logic the developers used to come up with this item, but it is the most amazing thing possible. Basically, the point of this item is that it sparks items at the rate you want it to. And on top of that, it can spawn items constantly, that is, like a generator of some sort, generates these items. So it basically works like a spawner in Minecraft. It's really very much like a spawner in Minecraft. That's essentially what it is. Only this item can SPWN absolutely any of your saved items. And in any quantity, and really at any frequency. There are numerous quantities of customizations that really fit this item, and this mechanism is as amazing as possible. By the way, it's cool that this item right here even just posted amazingly on the Melon Playground official channel. There hasn't been a video for months. And Contraption Spawner made it to that channel. And what's amazing, really, it's this mechanism, it's this addition that made it to the official channel, even though it happens very rarely. So the developers are really high on this item and basically high on this update. And honestly, for me, this item is the maximum we will still talk about in my future videos. I will really do a detailed review of this item. This item has 4 customization features, and we'll talk more about each of them in my future videos because there's a lot to talk about and a lot to break down. And what's cool is that I managed to spawn as many fireworks as possible and then blow them up. Look at how beautiful it really looks. And I think this is the tip of the iceberg of what you can do with this item. So let's say thank you to the developers and be sure to install this update right now. Because it is really good, although the vacuum cleaner came out not so covered, but for the sake of this item and for the sake of fixing all sorts of not very good bugs, as well as fixing fireworks, this update should definitely be installed and it should be tried. How much you appreciate this update, please write in the comments. Well, and this is my video comes to an end. Thank you all for watching, good luck to everyone, goodbye, and remember buddy, as always, see you the other day.